You're probably gonna have to sign a waiver, but Mr. Rowley will reach out to them so we can find out as much as we can about the program, and that will probably satisfy our batterers counseling requirements. Like, I think what you're currently doing is going to satisfy us, but I want to leave that to Mr. Rowley to give some more information, and we'll reach out and let you know. You send him where you usually send people, and that's fine with me. Counsel, your appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Joshua Nushin, on behalf of Haley Lane. Stands to my right.
Inch possess, counsel. Inch possess.
Sorry.
Inch possess. Lucian is not Armenian?
It is Armenian, okay, but, so it's funny.
You speak as much as I do.
I speak less than that, because, so, when I graduated law school, I got a letter in the mail that I was part of the Armenian bar association.
We talked about that.
And this went on for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
They sent me a renewal notice, and I called them. I said, I don't mind being a part of this. I will send
Yeah.
shit off Armenian. They were laughing, staring at me about it, and everything. I mean,
I remember that story now.
I mean, when my ancestors came over in Eastern Europe, they dropped some things. And
Yeah, yeah.
things around. And I don't know how they read it on that. But, you know,
I should have known. You're not good looking enough to be Armenian.
no, definitely.
Yeah.
So, I do have, I mean, all my Armenian friends, like, do you ever want to go us? You know,
Yeah.
we can portray you. You just,
Yeah, you're dark enough. Yeah, yeah.
Keep traveling, get that something. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
So I do have a good time with it,
I
but
bet.
I speak less than you as far as speaking.
So have you fellas had a chance to go over the report and recommendation?
We've gone through the report. It was emailed to me a couple days ago. George, got it as well. There's no additions, deletions, or correction, and we'd like to respond to some
Sure.
things there at the right time.
No, go ahead. I'm ready for elocution anytime.
So I know that, so this case stemmed from a heated divorce. I think the marriage fell apart. There was a PPO in place for a while. Mr. Lane had filed a motion for modification. That PPO was modified to stay in place for 6 months. Ever since this case has happened, the PPO was in place. There's been no contact. There's been zero issues amongst the two of them. This case related to getting property back that Mr. Lane believed was his.
Right.
Went through the whole divorce proceedings, there was a whole judgment. I don't have to belabor that. Granted, should Mr. Lane made better choices that day? Absolutely. In no way, shape, or form are we denying that. I think they'll tell you the same. As far as the recommendations are concerned, Your Honor, alcohol and drugs were not a part of this. Mr. Lane is in weekly counseling for his own mental health.
Good. Where at?
I do it over Zoom. She's Michigan Behavioral Medicine.
Okay. Good.
So he's been doing that. He
Excuse me.
enjoys it.
How long you been doing it?
Seeing her just under a year. So
Okay.
just off the time the divorce happened. I had a previous one that she just couldn't.
Okay. All right. So you're into it though. Yeah, go ahead.
So he's vested into it. You're right, I do have a good recommendation for him for a substance abuse counselor, but drugs and alcohol were not part of this offense. I asked that you consider alleviating the listing on it.
Mhm.
He has been enrolled in the nationwide harm program through the men's domestic violence program. He's completed 8 of their 26 sessions
Good.
as of July 13th of this year. So he's been actively engaged in that. I got him set up with that. I think just before we pled or right around the, so he's been going that. I asked that he get the credit for that, allowed to keep going.
You're probably gonna have to sign a waiver, but Mr. Rowley will reach out to them so we can find out as much as we can about the program, and that will probably satisfy our batterers counseling requirement.
Your Honor, but it's a good program.
Yeah.
I know that you're aware I used to be
Yep.
over there.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, I think we'll be all right. I just don't think we've pre-approved them.
So I can give proof to. Right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So with that, I asked that he allowed me to continue to go to that if the court deems that acceptable. But I asked that we eliminate the drug and alcohol test. He does have to get drug tested to work. So he's.
Where do you work? What do they do?
There, I'm sorry, say that.
What do they do?
The facility I'm in, we actually are test, research and development, but they make a lot of, you know, tools,
Bosch Tools. Gotcha, gotcha. Where's your facility at? Okay,
It's right up at 275.
Yep.
14th Energy.
Yep, yep. Okay, go ahead, counsel.
He's been employed there for years, gets drug tested there. The alcohol and drugs weren't a part of it.
Yep.
I think it was just a heated divorce. His emotions got the best of him. He's never been in this position
Mhm.
before. I see you adopt the recommendation as far as keeping it under 769-4A.
Mhm.
I know you're having any issues with him.
Mhm.
in the Future, and I just appreciate this court's courtesy. And it's
Okay.
sorry again that I was late.
Okay.
Today.
All right, Ms. Lane, why don't you come up here and have a seat right here by the microphone? Because I want to make sure whatever you say is accurately picked up and recorded. Go ahead. Said you wanted to make a statement. Go ahead.
Thank you. Your Honor, I would like to first thank you and the court for allowing me the opportunity to share from the events of December 19th, 2025, in the day sense that they have affected my life. That day changed not only how I view George, but also myself and our marriage. Understand how things got to this point, I have had to look back over our life together. During the 31-year marriage, George was prone to violent outbursts when he became angry. I have had items thrown at me, then pushed, bumped into, stepped on, grabbed, blocked from entering or leaving the area, called horrible names. He has slammed doors, slammed his hands fist on the helmet, and has also threatened suicide on multiple occasions. During one of these occasions, during the divorce process, he claimed to have taken enough of his prescribed sleeping pills to not wake up. Over the course of our marriage, he has used these behaviors as a way to intimidate me into silence. No matter how many times I would tell him that his behavior scared me and made me nervous, his response would be to tell me that I was being dramatic, overreacting, or I was lying. In 2016, George was taken into custody by Huron Township Police for resisting arrest when they arrived at the house due to a domestic disturbance complaint from a passerby. He was also charged with domestic violence and restricting access to 911 services. I unfortunately did not pursue the charges for reasons even I don't fully understand. In place of pursuing charges, I asked him to attend anger management classes, which he did, and I hoped that this would help him deal with his anger. Sadly, that was not the case, and over time, his anger and alcohol use became more of an issue. In May 2025, I made the difficult decision to file for divorce. Our divorce was finalized on August 11th, 2025, and George moved out at the end of September 2025. We lived in the same house during the divorce process, and this was a tumultuous time. His behavior became more unpredictable and erratic. An incident that stands out occurred on the evening of June 16, 2025. He became very angry during the conversation, and when I tried to get away from him, he followed me from room to room. At one point, I made it to the bedroom. He continued to follow and yell at me while having me back into my dresser. There was a camera in the den outside the bedroom, and I tried to get to an area that would record what was happening. I did make it to the hallway, and again, he had me backed into the wall. Later that evening, I checked the video footage to see it had caught these events, and it had. The next morning, when I tried to download the footage, it had been deleted. When I asked him about this, he admitted to deleting the footage because he was afraid I would use this against him in the divorce. On December 19, 2025, he came to my home to retrieve some items he had in the shed, and this is when the domestic violence occurred. In that moment, I could not fully understand why he was doing this. Somewhere within me, I thought since we were no longer married and I was no longer his wife, that the violent behavior towards me would end. However, that was not the case. There had been good times in our marriage, which made it difficult for me to fully understand that his behavior was not normal, nor was it love. It was control. Through counseling and the support of friends and family, I see now that I never had the power or ability to control his outbursts. It does not matter if I was calm when he had his outbursts or if I tried to stand my ground. He alone is responsible for his actions. To George, I had hoped that this process would help you see you cannot treat people the way you treated me that day, and maybe you would take accountability for your actions. Even though you have taken the plea deal, which is a form of admittance of guilt, I know you do not feel that you are guilty or have done anything wrong. This is not just a feeling based on knowing you, it is based on your own words and actions. Did you really think I would find out what you were saying about me? You made your feelings known about me in public posts on social media, an account that you have not had active since 2021, and an account that you have been locked out of, an account that I have blocked since being made aware of its existence. Your posts were seen by people who know me, and they shared what you were saying, along with screenshots. You also sent text messages to my mom, accusing me of things that simply are not true. You have said these things, same things to your mother, who is repeating it to others. The same person who texted and drove by my home because she was fearful for my safety during the divorce and after you had moved out. Because of this, I had received a phone call from a neighbor telling me she had run into your mother at the post office and how she proceeded to tell her all of the things about me, the same things that you were posting on social media and texting my mom. I don't understand why you feel the need to do these things. Is it because I won't them this time? Wasn't replaying for these public posts and texts with my mom to get back to me as a way to intimidate me? Or is it because you're afraid of being held accountable? In the end, it doesn't matter. I know the things you're accusing me of are not true, and it's a desperate attempt to take the focus off of your actions. Do you really believe that returning the equipment that belonged to my dad would make me, as you put it, drop all this CRAD referring to this case? As you said to my mom in text messages you sent her? Or did you think that posting online that you were thinking about taking me to court to fight for custody of Harvey and Remington, Nathan's dog and my dog, would scare me into submission? Your words were, thinking I may fight the ex for Harvey since I adopted them, and equal custody of Remy since we both adopted them, to get her to leave me the F alone. If she drops her S word, I won't go after the dog. The truth is, you came to my home and used words and intimidation to get what you wanted. What gives you that right? You can call me a liar and accuse me of making the whole incident up, but the bruises on my arm and leg from the door hit me do not lie, and neither does video footage. I did not fling myself backwards. The video clearly shows you using the door as leverage to gain access to the shed. The force of the door pushes me forward and hits me, which is where the bruises come from. When I said to you that I had the whole thing on video, that was not sarcasm. That was me completely dumbfounded as to why you would behave that way when you knew that there were cameras present, cameras you had installed. After noticing in the ring application that the cameras were no longer capturing events, I discovered they had been unplugged. Reviewing the video footage to determine when this occurred, it showed you disconnected them from the power source located inside the access door at 4:10 p.m. prior to closing the door. This was after you had already removed the branch from under the home at 4:09 p.m. I guess in your anger, you forgot that the one camera had battery backup and would still be able to capture and record the events at the shed at 4:15 p.m. Why disconnect them? Were you planning to do something, or is this just another example of you trying to delete a camera with evidence that showed your actions? I accepted the way that you treated me for years because you were my husband and I loved you. I tried to understand your struggles and your reasons. I even made excuses for your behavior to myself and others based on the fact that you had a difficult childhood. However, many people face struggles in life and do not behave the way you have or resort to violence to get their way. I tried for many years to work on a marriage and be there for you in every way that I possibly could. I was so desperate to not allow our kids to come from a broken home. And even told you over the years that I was in it for the long haul and would fight for our marriage and family. Words that you would later use against me when I finally realized if I continued to stay with you, I would completely lose myself. Accusing me of not wanting you and giving up on me. As I look back, I wonder, did you ever stop to think about how your actions affected me or our children? Did you ever care about the weight of your actions on my heart or well-being? Or was I just someone you knew would always stay? Was I even a person to you, or was I just another thing you could blame your choice? Someday you will have to look back at the choices you made, and if you're honest with yourself, maybe at some point you will realize the damage you have caused and the family you took for granted and threw away, all because you could not find a way to deal with your anger or heal from your past. As I stand here or sit today, I choose to forgive you. I forgive all of it, even the things you think you didn't do. I do not hold anger or bitterness against you. In fact, it is the opposite. I am filled with sadness. Sadness for you, sadness for me, sadness for our children, and sadness for a life we hope to build together. Your anger affected every aspect of your life, including our marriage, and your inability to take accountability is what finds us here today. My hope is that you will take this experience and learn how to deal with your anger and that you find true healing and peace in your life.
Thank you, Ms. Lane. Counsel, anything else before we sentence?
I didn't, there was one thing in that, what you said that I posted out there about the dogs. Yes, I did that. Nothing else was posted.
Okay.
I did, however, find my account had been hacked. Because my ex-wife and my son were both blocking from having access to my account, and all of a sudden, there were things on my page that I didn't put there, such as background on the page that had a gay pride flag, and somebody put a gay pride flag in the back of my truck, and then my son decided to argue with me about it, and told me how dare I am because, you know, they all think I'm gay, and so she spread that around, and I believe he put that on my truck because he's the only one who would have had access to the Facebook page. I'm not gay, for the record. And she sent her mother on me, she sent this big long letter, all untrue. I don't have any hurt or anything against her, I just wanted her to leave me alone, so I can move on with my life.
Well, sounds like we have that in common. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Just the no contact, the PPO, there was no issues with it, so I just asked that
Okay.
you have consideration.
There is no PPO now.
No, it's terminated.
Okay. All right. And there's no ongoing business between the two of you? No? All right. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the chance of the 7969.4A, the delayed sentence. That'll be for 12 months as per the discussion that you had with the prosecutor's office. I'm going to adopt in full the recommendations from Ms. Tiroli. So first of all, just to reiterate, I'm ordering batteries counseling. I think what you're currently doing is going to satisfy us, but I want to leave that to Ms. Tiroli to give some more information and we'll reach out and let you know. I will not order the no mood altering substance provision for probation at this time. I am going to require a substance abuse evaluation. You send him where you usually send people, and that's fine with me. If the evaluation comes back and they recommend follow-up, then I'm going to order the follow-up. So if they recommend some follow-up treatment of any kind, I'm going to order that. If that happens, then I'll probably instate the no mood altering substances as a probation condition.
A simple repair dispute took a dramatic turn when the judge began questioning a contractor's invoice. The homeowner claimed the workers spent only about 90 minutes at the property. Yet the bill showed nearly 5 hours of labor. As both sides argued over emergency service fees and workmanship complaints, the judge noticed inconsistencies in the testimony. The courtroom grew tense as questions mounted about whether the charges accurately reflected the work performed. Unsatisfied with the explanations, the judge signaled that more evidence would be needed and suggested bringing in the actual contractor to explain the disputed labor hours.
In this courtroom, the judge carefully listened to every detail before reaching a decision. The court showed patience,